Hey guys, it's Amber and welcome to day 7 or story 7, depending on what you do. So I am going to be telling a story about making some stuff for a potluck at work, which was on the 7th. So let me show you the photos that I have. So I've got a picture of an Oreo dessert that I made, and I put the recipe on this card. So Elle, where's my other piece? I'm missing something. So Elle had a freebie right before December with Jessica Turner from the mom. I can't think of the name of her blog right now, but either way, it's on her site. You can download it for free if you have the code, and it had some really cute free downloads in it. One of them I already used earlier in the album. These were some tags that said "Made with Love," so I just changed the size and printed them out. And then this was a recipe, so I added the recipe for what I made onto this card. And what I'm gonna do, let me backtrack a little, is I have these awesome folders that are Tim Holtz brand, but they match the pattern paper in the kit this year. So I was drawn to them as soon as I saw them because it's the exact same pattern, just different color scheme. There's even a little bit of pink and stuff. So once they finally came in the mail, I got them at Simon Says Stamp, and scrapbook.com had them too. I'm not sure if they're still available or if they're sold out, but I thought it would be fun to kind of treat these like, you know, some recipe books, because the photos are, you know, cute, but not like, you know, awesome. But I thought it'd be fun to treat them kind of like recipe books that would fold open. And I found this green Heidi Swap pattern paper. This is what it looks like on the other side, which is really the side I bought it for, from her Winter Wonderland. Sorry, it's the Winter Wonderland collection from 2019. And I even pulled it out to try this side, but it was too big of a pattern. If it was a tighter pattern, it might have worked, but then I flipped it over and happened to notice that this green really matched well, and I needed a nice neutral because there's a very busy pattern. I've got 2 different inside patterns going on. And I did look at some of these other folder options. There's this awesome wood grain pattern, there's this plaid, there's a snowflake of plaid, and then like a berry and black and white plaid. So it's a really fun little set. And I did consider some other papers as well, so I kind of can show you those. So I have like a Felicity Jane, I have like a nice sagey green here. And then this was another paper from Heidi Swap's collection from that same Winter Wonderland. I looked into the red dots as well, and I even really liked these stripes. And I thought that the pink might, you know, pull out the pink, but it seemed a little too busy. Another Felicity Jane color. This was a basic gray red, and then another Heidi Swap paper here. I kind of thought maybe a black pattern would allow the black folders to stand out, and it does look cool, but it is a lot going on. And then I also had this Felicity Jane from their Holly line. I liked the color, and I thought maybe a nice kind of neutral, but again, just too much going on. So I'm pretty happy with the pattern I picked out. And I've got my number 7 here. So what I'm thinking I'm going to do is I'm going to cut these out, obviously, and I want to use some paper clips to help me hold the photos inside. And I'm just seeing what colors I've got here from my Felicity Jane stash. So I've got a nice bright red here, which is probably what I'll use, and I also have white. But I'm thinking the red is going to be it. I also have a teal blue and like a copper and like a coral, so red is it. But I'm going to paper clip the photos inside. I'll probably use a little adhesive as well, but just to kind of look like they're slid in there. And then for this one, I have the photo and the recipe, which are going to just get layered on top of each other. And then I also have the journaling that is on vellum. So I'm thinking that I might actually stitch it to the bottom here with some thread around the outside. I was going to cut it to 3x5 and have it be layered in with them inside the folder, but I'm thinking that stitching it would be fun, and then when you open it you can see the photos. So I thought that would be really cool. So I'm thinking about that, and I have to remind myself too that I don't want to see it when it's closed. So I might have to trim it a little bit so that it's not right on the edge, but we'll see. But it came out pretty well. I just printed it, you know, in black font with that Remington noiseless on there. So I think that'll look neat. And then these are going to be layered on the outsides. I'm thinking that they're going to go in opposite directions like this. I did kind of look at doing it that way, where they're going the same way. It just seemed a little boring. But I thought flipping it gave it a little bit of interest, kept the patterns kind of away from each other, gave me a little spot in here to kind of tuck my 7 into. And then I'm going to layer these hearts on top. And I'm thinking about trying to dangle like a little tag from them. So I've been pulling out some stuff. So I've got several tags here. These are all from crepe paper. This is Elle Studio. This is maybe Elle Studio. These are definitely Elle Studio. And then this one I think was actually a Studio Calico. So I've got to kind of figure out, but I was kind of thinking these could make little tiny tags. One says delicious and one said thankful. So I'm considering those. And then I just picked out a variety here. I have a feeling these will be too big, but these, I really liked this Happy Holidays, and especially the holiday, la la la, there's a Merry. These are already kind of like pre-punched, but I think they're gonna just be too big. So just kind of found what I could that I thought would work. I actually really like this Oh What Fun. I think the problem is because I want to hang it from the right corner of the heart, I think it's going to be like, the sentiment will almost be like backwards. So unless I decide to like layer that somewhere, I don't think that's going to get used. So first step is I need to cut my pattern paper down. I want to keep this script in here. So it'll be 8 1/4 by 11 and 1/8. Actually, I want to remember to do that. Or it needs to be 11. Every time I've been printing my photos at full size, I've been trimming them to 11 because that's what they're printed on, even though the pattern papers are 11 1/8. So I need to remember to start doing it on bigger paper going forward. I'm trying to think of what else I have. I was considering maybe some washi tapes, you know, or my label tapes, maybe doing like a little bit of layering on there. I just gotta kind of decide what my plan is. And I also wanted to look at these as options as well, and even just the other hearts, to see if there's anything else that would potentially work as a dangly bit. These are tags, but again, I think they're probably going to be too big. So step 1 will be getting these cut out, and then step 2, I think I'm going to be sewing in my journaling, cutting these out, and then figuring out my embellishments from there. So hopefully it won't take too long, but I'm excited to see how it's going to come out. I've been really excited to use these, and I think this will be a fun way to use them like little recipe cards.
So the first thing that I'm doing is cutting out my hearts. I actually printed these on photo paper so that they'd be really nice and vibrant, and they are, you know, thick enough to withstand hanging outside of, you know, the folder on their own. Sometimes I use fine tip or detail scissors for these, but I felt like there were no issues cutting them out with my large scissors. I just take my time and go slow, but the dip in the heart's not very like steep, I guess you could say, so it was easy to cut around it. And I just used that one for a teeniest little white edge that was left. So I'm grabbing some red paper clips from Felicity Jane that I have in my stash. And my original plan was to paper clip all the photos inside, but then I realized I didn't really need them for this one, for the back. I just need it on the front so I can hang my little collection of hearts and tags from there. So I'm going to punch out these die cuts here from Elle Studio that I had mentioned before. They're a perfect little size to hang off the side there. And then I'm just kind of sizing up things here. I had sized these to be smaller inside, like 3.5 by 5, I think, and they could have been a little bit taller actually. So it worked out fine. My plan for the vellum was to trim that down to 3.5 by 5, but it actually ended up working on the 4 by 6 piece that I had to print it out on. So I just left it full size. I think I might have trimmed it 1/8 of an inch off of each side so that it wouldn't stick out from the folder. So now that I've seen what everything kind of will look like, I'm going to trim my paper to 8 1/4 inches tall. And I had like a weird rough edge there that I knew wouldn't trim correctly with my trimmer, so I just used my scissors to get rid of it. And just looking to see what I think of my decisions, kind of just checking everything out. I really did struggle with where to put that 7 because the folders were different sizes. Now, if I was redoing it, looking back, I might maybe stitch some vellum on the bottom of the larger pocket and create like a little home for it. I honestly still could do that, but not thinking about it. So I pulled out my 2-inch die cuts there, and I pulled out a star that matches that pattern but in a different color scape from Elle, and I tucked that Holiday Treats pink tag up there on the folder on the left, but I ended up not using that. I didn't have a great place to punch it based on how it was die cut, which is unfortunate because it was really cute. So I'm going to, before I do really much of anything, mount the background paper to the back of the day 6 layout. So I use my 1/8 inch score tape along the holes, fits in there perfectly, and then I'm just using the 1/4 inch all around the outsides. The paper is larger than the green Heidi Swap paper is larger than my Allie Edwards paper on purpose so that I have room to trim it to the exact size. It's not really 11, it's like 11 and like 1/8 maybe. So this way I can just trim that off by hand with scissors, and then there was a tiny little bit of an edge along the top that I trimmed as well. And then I'm going to go ahead and punch the holes so I can see where the design is going to be before anything gets mounted down. And you can see there I even considered putting it on that one. So now that I've kind of made all those decisions, I'm grabbing my Crocodile and I'm using the tinier hole punch on there. It's the smallest one that I've got. I feel like it's 1/8 of an inch. I could be wrong, but I needed that for those tiny little word phrases with the rounded edges. So I went ahead and stuck the star behind it and punched through everything all at the same time in my hand how I wanted it. And I'm grabbing that green twine. It has a little bit of a silver sparkle to it, and that's from Martha Stewart. I found it at TJ Maxx. It's just a really nice dark green that I thought would look pretty on here. I have other ones that are like red and white and really busy looking. I just thought the green would look nice and let the folders kind of stand out more and the tags. So I'm So I'm using my 1/4 inch score tape to mount the photos inside of the folder. The paper clip's kind of more for show, but it also is going to help hold the tags on the front. So I literally just looped it through, and I'm going to end up mounting those down with sticky tape because I hate when stuff like that moves. I want it to look how I envision it all the time. So I'm going to put some sticky tape in between all the different tag layers so that they lay exactly how I want them to, and on the edge of the heart as well. That way, if the string would happen to come out of that paper clip, they're not going anywhere. So now I'm going to attempt to find something else to go with that green heart besides that pink strip, because I could just tell I wasn't going to be able to punch it easily. I did test out some hearts, but it seemed like not quite the right color red, and it had a lot of hearts going on. I thought it was cute, but I just couldn't find like a good position to be able to punch it and have it lay, especially with the ones that had words on them. So I just didn't super love it because I only had so much room to like dangle it and have things be like visible. So you can see I'm just kind of playing around deciding if I can like position it how I need to, but I would have had to put the green heart at like a really strong angle. So I end up going with that red tag there that says love this. But I kind of wish I'd gone with that light green one that says, oh, what fun, even though the problem was I couldn't get it in a position where you could read it because of the way the sentiment was facing. but I kind of wish I'd stuck with it later because I end up having that red flag right next to the red heart, and it's kind of like too much red. I just couldn't really find anything else, even though I had that pile of stuff there to the right of my hand. I couldn't find anything else that I really liked, and it seemed great at the time, but now I'm kind of wishing I'd used the other one. But everything's mounted down. I'm not going to change it. So just kind of doing the same thing there. I lined all three of them up, punched the hole at the same time. And then I'm going to do the same thing with the adhesive and the twine. I just double knotted it at the top. I didn't try to do anything fancy with it. And then just trimmed the little tails once they were attached inside the paper clip, and I got it at the right length. So now I'm just kind of cleaning up my desk a little bit, because I know I need to get my sewing machine out. So I'm looking at where the vellum is sitting at inside that folder. And like I said, I trimmed off just the teeniest bit on each side to get it to lay where I wanted when the folder is closed and not be able to see the vellum, and kind of have it be centered as well. So I'm going to get out my sewing machine, and I put some green thread in there that I had picked out at Joann's. I picked like a brighter green, a darker green, and a dark red. I need to go find a brighter red, because the reason I didn't use red on red was because I didn't like the color. I picked out more of like a wine or burgundy color. So I was really happy with the way that the stitching came out, and I'm going to hold it up here so you can see. And then now that I've made all these final decisions, I'm going to go ahead and get these tags mounted down. And I was trying not to put them in the exact same position. I wanted it a little straighter, but overall just really happy with how these came out. I thought they were really sweet looking. So I'm going to use my red line tape to mount these down. I probably could have used score tape, but these are kind of like a slick cardstock material, and I really wanted to make sure that they would stay down well since they're going to be outside of a page protector. So I just put a little bit in each corner. Red line tape is super strong, so I didn't feel like I needed much more than that. And just had to make a final decision on how I was going to position them one more time. And I believe that I even considered like putting them like really cockeyed, but in the end, my need for things to be straight and even won out. So they are nice and straight and even. So I mounted the larger one first so I could make sure I had enough space to the left, and then I'll mount the right side, and then I'll be showing you a live look of what everything looks like in just a moment. Okay guys, so I'm all done here. Only thing I'm not loving is that this red and red are right on top of each other. If they were opposite, I'd be okay with that, but it's like a lot of red right in the middle, even though I know this needed something red. Now I'm almost wishing I had stuck with the lighter green, but it's okay. It's just kind of driving me a little bonkers. So anywho, loving how this came out. I'm considering if I want to try to put like labels on here or something. So I've got this one here, left these completely loose so I can take the photos out and actually look at the recipe if I need to. I'm trying to have them in there like a little, like at an angle, so it looks like they're tucked in. I didn't want it here. I wanted them on the top and bottom, and I needed this one to be here. So happy with that. Love how the stitching came out. It came out really good. I'm trying to work on getting my corner straight so that they don't pull. You have to like take that stitch, and before you take the next one, like go back. Which is hard to explain, but I got it 3 out of 4 times, so we're getting there. And then this one here, I did tape both of these in. I feel like I need like a little embellishment or something on the inside, you know, just to kind of like be festive, but I don't need like that exact one, just something that I'm, you know, feeling like needs to be here. A little something to embellish on the inside, or like something here, like I was trying to find something that said like homemade or something like that, but and I still wanted to consider using like some of the Tim tape, the label tape, but like I almost kind of like don't need it, you know, which is fine.
You know, I was even debating like cutting out a piece here and putting that on there. You know, like something like that. But I'm, you know, not sure I necessarily need something there. It just like, it's like the perfect spot to put a label, you know, because it looks like a file folder. So that's why I'm kind of trying to consider something that could go there. I feel like it just needs like a third black element or something on the page. But anyhow, if I think of something, I will share, but otherwise, pretty happy with how it came out. Totally different from what I had originally anticipated, but that was kind of because of the size and the constraints and the way these dangly parts came out. But I will see you for day 8, and just a reminder, if you're not subscribed, please do so. You'll be automatically notified when I post new content. So thanks so much for watching.